2, we know that we are stronger when united. 3, we exercise our right to assemble. 4, that's when the proud and mighty start to tremble. Just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering. Hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. We know that there's a wrong to be righted. 2. We know that we are stronger when united. 3, we exercise our right to assemble. 4, that's when the proud and mighty start to tremble. Just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering. Hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. We know that there's a wrong to be righted. 2. We know that we are stronger when united. 3. We exercise our right to assemble. 4. That's when the proud and mighty start to tremble. Just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering. Hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning and welcome to our Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Congregation service. Just in case you're wondering, we are being joined this morning in the sanctuary by members of Common Threads in the Street. Welcome. Thank you for joining us both here and via Zoom. My name is Douglas Crozier and I will be your service weaver this morning from our spiritual home, our newish sanctuary here at 310 Danforth. Our service is being recorded for the public both on YouTube as well as on our website. If you have any privacy concerns over Zoom, you're welcome to turn off your camera and rename yourself. And if you have any concerns, you can pivot in a way that you won't be seen here in the sanctuary, either towards the back or under the sides here. However you choose to participate with us today, and however you are here, I welcome you here. Now we have nowhere else to go. We have nothing else to do. Please bring our heart, our mind, and our spirit together as we share in gratitude for being here with one another. This is our threshold moment. Please let's enter sacred space together. This morning I've asked Lance Savage if he'd come and light our chalice, please.
We light this chalice to remember, So this morning we're going to be doing a lot of singing, everyone. I'm wondering if you're comfortable. I see people spread out. Can we move in so we're a bit closer together? If you're comfortable to move into the row ahead, we'll get a nice collective sound, collective feeling if that's something that you're willing to do. I'm going to teach you a song, We Have Come Too Far. We can't turn around. We'll flood the streets with justice. We are freedom bound. The prelude this morning is going to be sung by all of us, as is all the music today. So repeat after me. We have come too far, we can't turn around. We have come too far, we can't turn around. Second half goes, we'll flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We'll flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. Let's put all that together. We have come too far, we can't turn around. We'll flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. One more time for good measure. We have come too far, we can't turn around. We'll flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. So let's try that as a round. I'm going to have my friend Allison come help me. We're going to split the congregation in two. And Allison, if you could work with this group, and I'm going to work with this group. We'll get started, we'll sing it one time all together, then group one will start, and when they get We'll Flood the Streets, group two will start, and I'll lead you. I'll turn my mic off. And why don't we rise to sing this? Can't turn around, we have to sing this like you mean it. All right. One time all together, and then Allison will be with group one. We have come too far, we can't turn around. We'll flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We have come too far, we can't turn around. We'll flood the streets with justice, far we can't turn around. We'll flood the streets with justice, we are freedom around. We'll flood the streets with justice, far we can't turn around. We'll flood the streets with justice, we are freedom around. We'll flood the streets with justice, for your around. We'll flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We are freedom bound. We are freedom bound. We are freedom bound.
And now Susanne will share our announcements for this morning.
All right. So you shall. There is a lot going on at Neighborhood. So my name's Susanne. Welcome, everyone. I have your announcements. Do you want a memento from last Saturday's tribute to Reverend Wayne Walder? For a minimum donation of $10, take home a commemorative bottle of wine. You can see Mark Tim. Talk to him after service if you'd like one. Small groups are an excellent way to deepen our spiritual exploration and care for one another. Are there small groups on themes or topics that you would like to join or can offer to lead? Please share your ideas for small groups, which would begin in the fall, with our president Allison. Summer is almost here, and so is our calendar of neighborhood summer events. Please check your most recent email to see the list of events, which include services, walk and rolls, labyrinth walks, talent night, congregational picnic, outdoor drum circle, outdoor song circle, family movie night, and it goes on. We got lots going on here this summer, and everyone's welcome to everything. A search update about our interim minister search. We do not yet have a match, and we've entered the second round on May 23rd. Round 2 lasts 2 weeks. There is a very small chance that we may get the match we want, but we may not find a candidate for August 1st. The board struck a ministerial leadership search committee, which met Thursday night to consider Plan B options, and is meeting today after service. All members of the congregation are welcome to attend that meeting. You can talk to Allison or just come. Is that meeting going to be in here? Okay, very good. Share your ideas and help to shape next year's guest speaker lineup by becoming a member of the Sunday Service Coordination Team. We have a few members already, Moira, Peter, myself, and we're looking for more. We'll start by envisioning Sunday services for September and October. And you can talk to Peter, and Peter is... That's Peter. Thanks, Peter. Update on Neighborhood's refugee sponsorship program involvement. This year, Neighborhood will be sponsoring 10 refugees currently residing in Israel, Sudan, and Egypt. Neighborhood co-sponsors with the members of the Eritrean community here in Toronto. For more information on our refugee sponsorship program, please see Dina. Thank you, Dina. Embodying the 8th principle, workshop number 1, awareness of our own privilege and bias. This is happening Wednesday, June 22nd from 7 to 9 p.m. here in this space. The 8th Principle Working Group is offering our first community workshop. We'll offer activities that help us become more self-aware, and we'll offer a safe community space for sharing and learning and growing with each other from each other. All members are welcome and encouraged to attend. You can contact Bruce, who I saw is here today, there's Bruce, or myself for more info on this workshop. Communications Committee, have you got writing skills? Are you social media savvy? I'm, as in Michelle, is looking for a group of people to join the communications team to help craft our communication strategy and get the word out about who we are. Michelle is our vice president. You can talk to her for more info. The Zee Committee, Social and Environmental Action Committee. On Wednesday, September 21st from 6 to 9, the DMC, which we are a part of, the Danforth Multi-Faith Commons, is hosting a Kairos blanket exercise here in the sanctuary for members of the 3 congregations to learn more about the history of Indigenous peoples in Canada as a step towards reconciliation. You can contact Laura Thomas for more info or to register. Thank you, Laura. Whoa, okay. Celebration of Life for Bruce Brackett is being held Saturday, June 25th from noon to 5 at the Legion at Pape and O'Connor. Join us as we celebrate the life of Bruce. You need to RSVP. This info will be sent in our Monday mailing, and the service starts at 1. And this week's breakout room topic: how and when has music inspired you towards taking a stand, fighting for social justice, or challenging an outdated status quo? Ponder this. We hope you'll be willing to share your reflections when the time comes. Next Sunday, our theme will be Lessons Learned from a Humanitarian's Journey Around the World. Our service weaver will be Gordon Thorne. Our speaker will be Marie-Pierre Montigny, and music by our own Spirit Band.
Suzanne.
Welcome.
People have gathered on this land before us for many, many years in a sacred way for prayer, gathering, and also for services. This morning I am pleased to honor and to acknowledge that the Wendat and the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, as well as the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nations lived here before us, and they are living here now, along with Métis and Inuit. I offer our gratitude to our First Nations for their care for and their teachings about our earth and our relations. I will continue to learn more and to honor these teachings. Good morning and welcome again. For the first time, I announce that our minister emeritus is the Reverend Wayne Walder, and Zee Getchell facilitates our Sunday child and caregiver programs. Our special musical guests today are members of the activist wing of the Common Thread Choir, led by our very own Susanne Maziarz, who is also our choir director. Double duty at least. We also have Mike Kosowski, who's doing the Zoom hosting duties for us this morning, as well as Reece Rogers, who operates our camera and soundboard here in the sanctuary. Thank you and welcome to everyone. By now, I think we're all pretty familiar with Zoom etiquette. For those who are joining us on Zoom, we ask that if you have a technical question or concern, that you send a direct chat message to Mike. And for those folks here in the sanctuary, we do have a wiggle room just to the back of the space here where families with small children are welcome to access if you so choose. It's a space where you'll be able to hear the service without necessarily being heard. We offer this as an invitation. It is certainly not a requirement. We are open to many beliefs, and we do our best to keep learning from many faith traditions. We welcome everyone to our religious community. As my friend Ari said after he visited, this is the most unchurched church I've ever been to. I took that as a compliment. If you're visiting us in person for the first time, we certainly do welcome you, and we invite you to come back. Our services can vary greatly from week to week, so it would be helpful for you to check us out by coming back a few times. I'll hold some space here after the service. If you have any questions or comments, or if you just want to have a chat and get to know us better, I'll be here in the sanctuary. Okay. A good place for us to focus about who we are and what we do here is our mission statement. And it reads, our mission at Neighborhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. I think that we're demonstrating that quite clearly today. Today's theme, colored beautifully with music and message, is changing our world one song at a time. Common Thread was started 23 years ago in response to the limiting and the divisive measures of the Harris government of the day. History, sadly, seems like it may be repeating. Literally and musically, they wanted to give voice to social justice by supporting and performing at rallies and protests in and around Toronto. In its wisdom, the activist wing asked Susanne to provide its musical leadership. Today we will hear from Bob Biderman, Deborah Littman, Kristina Kiil, and Laura Schein. You will hear more about them as they're introduced throughout the service. Please stand by. The first protest music that I recall hearing when I was quite young, maybe about 9 years old, was something called Free to Be You and Me. Growing up in the rural and very conservative Eastern Ontario, a sensitive soul and boy, I could not quite comprehend the shoulds that were liberally so to speak, tossed my way. I loved playing with my Tonka truck in the dirt, but I also really liked playing with dolls. And I didn't get that one was okay and the other wasn't, even though this was abundantly made clear to me over and over again. So because the explanation didn't work for me, I kept playing with both. And although I really had a good time on the soccer pitch, I also liked joining the girls when they skipped rope in the schoolyard. The teachers didn't like that. And again, I couldn't quite understand it. They didn't give me a rational explanation, so I just kept doing it. I certainly want to wish everyone a happy Pride Month, by the way. So I certainly sat up and noticed when our small town and our small-minded Canadian antenna picked up this after-school special. And in a nutshell, in the early 70s, it was meant to challenge gender norms and roles. And yeah, it certainly had an impact on me. Holding true to my gentle yet strong disposition, the next protest music that resonated in a very deep way for me was Imagine by John Lennon. This is yet another song meant to question and challenge social norms in the face and the atrocities of war, of greed, and of dispassion. For me, belonging to a faith tradition that doesn't subscribe to, well, we've always just done it that way, and to a community that helped stop the quarry very close to our beloved Unicamp, that teaches our children that love is love, and that actively engages in social justice in such an instrumental way. These are signs beautifully that we will hear again this morning. You don't have to, yet I would invite you to close your eyes as I share the words from John Lennon's Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday that you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Now is the time for us to say hello to our neighbors. We ask that you adopt an attitude of consent and respect in regards to physical distancing. After you've greeted a few of your neighbors here in the sanctuary, please turn to the camera, hoist it at the back of the sanctuary, and say good morning to our friends via Zoom. For you folks on Zoom, please briefly unmute your device, switch to gallery view, and offer a greeting to those around you, and then maybe to some of us here. Zee will sound a chime to end. Please now say good morning to one another.
Hello.
Good morning.
You may say that I'm a dreamer.
Not the only one. It's hard to hear those words without singing them.
being able to talk at an event where John Lennon has been featured is a little humbling.
Yeah. Good morning. How are you?
Before
John,
Welcome. Thank you. So I'm not used to the Zoom coming on at the same time.
who's in the common thread choir here? Deborah?
yeah,
Lorraine? Bob?
yeah.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
I hope I can join you in the summer.
Oh, that's fantastic. Dee Dee, put your email in the chat and I'll send you notices.
Okay.
Now I'll invite you to join in the reading of our opening words, which will appear on the screen. Let us cast a circle
Of a sacred space here. Let us cast the circle of a cherished space here. A space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life. A life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families.
Truly multi-platform this morning. Half of our speakers will be joining us via Zoom. Our first speaker this morning is a founding member of Common Thread and has been an activist his whole life. Please turn your focus to the screen as we welcome Bob Biderman virtually. Bob?
Thank you so much. And yes, I am the a founding member of Common Thread and very proud to be so. When Susanne invited us to come to this event, she talked about us talking about our personal experiences and asked me to talk about the civil rights movement in the United States. And I wasn't in the Deep South, never have been, but my involvement with the civil rights movement was here in Toronto, on University Avenue in front of the United States Consulate, where one night I found myself having a guitar shoved into my hands and being asked to lead songs for several hundred people. And that was my introduction to being a song leader. The civil rights movement was full of music. Many of the other movements, the labor movement, the peace movement, and these days the environmental movement, have had lots of songs, and as did the civil rights movement. And Martin Luther King talked about the music as being the soul of the movement. The songs were inspirational. They were providing a sense of unity to people and optimism. Those songs, for the most part, were taken from gospel music, from hymns. They were borrowed from other movements as well. The song "We Shall Not Be Moved" had been sung in the labor movement, but was adapted to the civil rights movement. And the song "We Shall Overcome," which you're going to hear later on today, actually started as "I'll Overcome Someday." And then it became "We Will Overcome." And Pete Seeger, who was at the Highlander School in Tennessee, heard the song and thought, it'll sound better if we sing it as "We Shall Overcome." Well, one of the people who heard him sing it at that point was Martin Luther King, who liked the song. And at that point, it went around the world. I think it's been sung probably in every country around the world. I learned a lot of the music from a wonderful CD, was an album back in those days, it made in 1963, that Pete Seeger recorded, called "We Shall Overcome." And if you haven't heard it, I would strongly recommend that you find it. He taught a lot of the songs to many people through that album. It was a live album, so there was a large audience singing with him. And he talked about people on the picket line who, when they were stopped and said, and it was said that they were going to be arrested, would break out into song. They'd sing, "I ain't scared of your jail because I want my freedom. I want my freedom. I want my freedom. Ain't scared of your jail because I want my freedom. I want my freedom now." And he said they did a little dance when they sang that song as well. So it was a great inspiration. And they sang songs that had been adapted. They what we call zipper songs. They took music from other songs, the music, and they put their own words to it. So they sang, "If you miss me at the back of the bus, you won't find me nowhere. Oh, come on over to the front of the bus. I'll be riding up there. I'll be riding up there. I'll be riding up there. Oh, come on over to the front of the bus. I'll be riding up there." And they put other verses to it. It was, "If you miss me in the Mississippi River, you won't find me nowhere. You'll find me in the swimming pool. And if you miss me on the picket line, you'll find me somewhere. You'll find me at the voting polls." So they adapted those songs. And as I say, I learned them at folk festivals and on the record, but I wasn't directly involved. We have a member of Common Thread in the Streets, David DePoe, who I don't see here today, but who was directly involved. He was in Mississippi during those days. So the songs lived on, and at one point, not that many years ago, there was a documentary series with 14 different sessions called Eyes on the Prize, which once again was one of the old gospel songs. It had originally been called "Keep Your Hands on the Gospel Plow," and then it was just called "Keep Your Hand on the Plow." And these days it's become "Keep Your Eyes on the Prize." And Common Thread in the Streets and Susanne are going to lead you in that song.
Also, there I am. Oh, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Can we try that? Oh, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Got my hands on the freedom plow. Wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. And then the chorus goes, hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. We repeat that. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Oh, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Got my hands on the freedom plow. Wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Next slide. Only chains that we can stand are the chains of hand in hand. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Many good souls have fought and died, so we can sing here side by side. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, Zee.
I'm going to invite all of the young and young at heart to come up and stand in the middle of the circle, because it's time for our Time for All Ages. So our topic today is music, how it changes us as people, and how we can use it to change the world, which I believe music absolutely has that power. Music can help people to express and understand things that in ways that they never expected to be able to. So I thought that we could sing a song together today. This song was written by a 10-year-old right here in Toronto just a couple years ago in 2019. I remember that many of the kids that year were going on a strike where they refused to go to school for the day to protest for climate action because they were worried and are worried about our environment. It's a call and response song, a pretty easy one, where I sing a line first and then you sing a line right back to me. And then after 4 lines, we repeat the whole thing together. So let's just start. We'll try it off with the first paragraph, okay? There was an earth, a great big earth, whose sense of worth was in her dirt. There was an earth, a great big earth, whose sense of worth was in her dirt. Okay, that's great. So we're going to do it just like that. But I have a couple of percussion instruments over here I was hoping to give to our younger friends, and maybe they could help us to keep a beat. Would you be willing to do that? Yeah, we got some shakers and some tambourines. Go help yourselves. That's okay. I'll take that lettuce, Suzanne. That's fine. Yeah, it's a drum. That one's a drum. Great. Excellent. So I was hoping that you could help us to keep a beat. So let's get something started. There was an earth, a great big earth, whose sense of worth was in her dirt. There was an earth, a great big earth, whose sense of worth was in her dirt. But then they came, the human race, ransacked the place. What a disgrace. But then they came, the human race, ransacked the place. What a disgrace. The kids were sad and got quite mad. They stood for Earth and what she's worth. The kids were sad and got quite mad. They stood for Earth and what she's worth. So here we are. We've come this far. We're skipping school. No fossil fuel. So here we are. We've come this far. We're skipping school. No fossil fuel. So listen up. All you grown-ups. Don't take away our future days. So listen up, all you grown-ups. Don't take away our future days. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in that song. So my friends, we're going to go off for our program now, but we're not going to go the way we usually do. We're going to go head out this way towards that door over there, and we're going to set our instruments down on the table before we go, because we're going to spend our program this morning outside. Okay?
At this time, I'd like to introduce our second speaker. Also joining us via Zoom, Deborah Littman is on the board of Common Thread and was first inspired to sing songs of activism through the Left Coast Labor Chorus, with which she sang for many years. Good morning and welcome, Deborah.
I want to tell a story about my own labor activism and how that's related to song. In 1977, I joined the sociology department of Ryerson Polytechnic, as it was at the time, as a sessional lecturer. The day I started, someone put a union card on my desk and asked me to sign. My colleagues were organizing a new local of the Graduate Assistants Association, joining locals already organized at U of T in New York. The GAA was a tiny independent education union, much like the Starbucks unions of today. And like today, my fellow sessionals and I were the precarious baristas of the university world. GAA members did a third of all the teaching at Ryerson, but we were paid much less than our tenured colleagues. We were only employed 9 months of the year, while they were paid year-round. Unlike tenured faculty, we received no pensions or other benefits, and most critically, we had no job security. No matter how well we taught, no matter how glowing our student evaluations, we could be replaced in a heartbeat if the chair of the department had a nephew that needed a job. Our GAA negotiating team knew that the next round of bargaining would be tough. As poorly paid, expendable lecturers picking up the scraps of teaching left over by the tenured faculty, we had little bargaining power in the institution. We needed allies. In the summer of 1979, I was elected president of Local 4, putting me at the heart of preparations for this crucial round of bargaining. I was also pregnant with my first child. The timing could not have been more auspicious. Over the next few months, I learned a critical lesson. I learned that leaflets and posters were never going to get the Ryerson community on our side. We needed to speak to people one-to-one, to get to know them and to find some common ground. One of the biggest obstacles to getting student support was that they saw no difference between GAA members and the tenured faculty. We taught the same classes, marked the same papers, gave the same exams. How could we open the conversation with students to explain the injustices we faced? We decided to make rubber stamps that said work done by GAA member, and to stamp every course outline, book list, and marked paper that we handed out. Soon the students were coming up to us asking, "What's this? What's the GAA?" That gave us a chance to explain and ask for their support. GAA members also wrote op-eds for the student newspaper. We held information pickets at lunchtime to explain our grievances. We reached out to Ryerson staff and tenured faculty, and we built on our connections with the rest of the labor movement. By late fall of 1979, it was clear that we were at an impasse with management over our key demands. A strike was looming. A ballot told us that our members were ready to go out if talks failed. On January 21st, I had my daughter at the old Wellesley Hospital. My hospital room became a hive of union activity. My first post-birth outing was to the meeting where the union confirmed the decision to go on strike. And strike they did. GAA members braved the deep February cold to march on picket lines around the campus. And in the end, all of our work at building solidarity paid off. Sympathetic faculty and staff refused to cross our picket lines. Students walked out of classes taught by scabbed teachers. The student newspaper ran a daily feature profiling our members. My own tiny daughter was featured as picketer of the day on the day I went on the picket line. Probably the biggest blow to management, though, was and perhaps what tipped the balance, was the day the powerful Brewers Union refused to deliver beer to the Students' Union. The strike lasted for 2 long weeks, much longer than anyone thought we could hold out, and in the end, the union prevailed. Management agreed to give our members an extra month's paid work every year at better rates, and we won the crucial job security provisions that exist to this day. 40 years on, I'm still proud of what we achieved in the 1980 GAA strike. It gave dignity to our working lives, and it taught us that sometimes the underdog can win when workers of all kinds and backgrounds stand together.
Thank you, Deborah. We're going to sing a labor union song, Solidarity Forever. And I understand that this song is sung at national union conferences with 2,000 people in attendance all singing together. So this is to the tune of the Battle Hymn of the Republic, a good solid marching tune for us. The lyrics fly by pretty fast, but please join on the chorus and throughout as you're willing. If we could rise. Thank you. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? But the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. When racism in all of us is finally out and gone, then the union movement will be twice as powerful and strong. For equality for everyone will move the cause along, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn, but without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. They divide us by our color, they divide us by our tongue, they divide us men and women, they divide us old and young. But they'll tremble at our voices when they hear these verses sung, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
I think I'm awake now. This is a special time in our service and in our community when we invite you to share a joy or a concern in your life. In that case, I'll light this final candle for all of the joys and concerns which remain unspoken, yet in our hearts.
Being with you is our prayer.
So at this point, I'm going to ask us to have a time of quiet reflection, of meditation, and or of prayer. Any or every meditation that I've been involved with begins with and focuses on the breath. So already around me, I'm hearing folks begin to take a gentle yet a deep cleansing breath. The stillness that I hear and feel in the sanctuary feels really special today, and it's a terrific way to begin the week, surrounded by calm and by like feeling souls. With this next breath, I invite you to clear across your mind, sort of like a whiteboard that you're wiping clean. Anything that might be troubling or niggling you, just let the breath clean that. On this next breath, I'd invite you to feel the breath as it passes through your throat and your mouth, along your tongue. And if there's been an unkind word or something you wish that you could say differently, I invite you to let that go. This next breath, I would invite you to feel as it travels to your heart, fills up your lungs without too much effort, and with the same sense of calm and assuredness. Connect with the goodness in your heart and see and feel and know how this serves you. And then let that go. With this next breath, please bring it down past your diaphragm, into your stomach, across your abdomen. Connect with your gut, that reserve and pool of intuition where you know for you what's right. And honor that as you let it go. With compassion and gentleness, I invite you to take another breath or two or three, connecting to these various parts of yourself, knowing that you can let the breath go and that another will follow. Feeling and knowing that being here and now is more than enough. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing a valued member of our community, Kristina Kiil. She's going to speak with us today about an Estonian singing revolution which fought a fascist invasion and from which a movie has been made. Indeed, we are hoping to show this film here in the sanctuary in the near future. Kristina.
Good morning, everyone. I hold Estonia dear in my heart because my father's family is Estonian, and they fled Estonia during the Second World War under the Soviet invasion and occupation. And so I have the pleasure of sharing the events that led up to the singing revolution. Since 1869, every 5 years, people from all over Estonia have traveled many miles to sing in song festivals because singing is a vital part of their culture. Nearly 30,000 singers take to the stage. Mike, can you show the first picture of the back of the festival grounds? These festivals have united the nation in the face of foreign occupiers for more than a century. Two festivals in particular were the catalysts for the singing revolution in the 1980s that led to Estonians' independence in 1993. In 1947, under the Russian occupation, the song festival continued. Estonians began by singing the Russian patriotic songs. Then, under the noses of the officials, the conductor, composer Gustav Ernstaks began to lead the singers in a patriotic Estonian song that became their unofficial anthem and a sign of protest. In 1969, still under Soviet occupation, Estonians gathered to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the song festivals. The choirs finished singing the official Russian program, then refused to leave the stage. They began to sing their anthem, and the Soviet officials had no choice but to let the conductor come up and lead the song. During the 1980s and the years of Gorbachev, the Estonians took advantage of free speech and organized large gatherings where people spoke out and, more importantly, sang out and raised the national flag, aspiring for independence. And you can see the Estonian flag is the blue, black, and white. After all of these gatherings, there was no turning back. Singing united the Estonian people time after time, and this singing revolution of the late 80s continued to be the fuel for change, for independence. As was previously mentioned, they finally gained in 1993. I see the photo of the cover of the revolution, the movie. Last photograph. So this is a short version of the long story, and yeah, as was mentioned earlier, in the near future we will be hopefully showing this the movie that's the whole story that led up to the singing revolution.
Thank you, Kristina. Although we're not going to sing the Estonian national anthem, unofficial anthem, we are going to sing another song, an anti-fascist protest song from Italy. This is Bella Ciao. It started off actually as a labor song and was then transformed in 1943 into an anti-fascist song. I think we're going to sing it a little under tempo, nice and gentle. It tells the story about after I found the invader and I've died fighting, look at the beautiful flower that grows above me on the mountain and remember the beauty of my life's work to fight fascism. I'm just going to lead you along with it. I think I'll stand, maybe it's easier to see. One morning I awakened, oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. One morning I awakened and I found the invader. Oh Partigiano, carry me away. Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. Oh Partigiano, carry me away, because I feel death approaching. And if I die as a partigiano, oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. And if I die as a partigiano, then you must bury me. Bury me up in a mountain. Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. Bury me up in the mountain under the shade of a beautiful flower. And all those who shall pass, oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. And all those who shall pass will tell me what a beautiful flower. This is the flower of the Partigiano. Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. This is the flower of the Partigiano who died for freedom.
Thank you. Now is the time for our offertory, a little bit early, yet you'll understand in just a moment. Sharing of ourselves is part of every faith. Volunteer efforts are tremendous, yet salaries are paid and programs sustained through our contribution. Baskets will be passed around the circle. We thank you for your generosity, however you choose to contribute. And Susanne is going to take a moment to help introduce the offertory song. And I'm going to ask that once the baskets are circulated, if they can just be brought to me here at the side.
I'm gonna lift my sister up, she is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sister up, she is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sister up, she is not heavy.
just want to keep singing, but we got to go home. If you have found love and acceptance here, if you have found home here, if you have found kindred spirit here, let this offering be a token of your gratitude for us to build the common good. Our final speaker today is Laura Schein. Laura is a singer with In the Streets who has rededicated herself to sharing and singing songs of social justice with children. Please join me in welcoming Laura.
Good morning, everyone. Recently, I've been thinking about singing with children during my life's work as a teacher. In 1975, I co-founded the Schoolhouse, a small alternative school for around 50 children from kindergarten to grade 6. We ran it for 28 years until 2003. And I have to say this morning that I feel so comfortable here because the Schoolhouse felt a lot like this. Teaching and learning about social justice was one of the things that we did that made us an alternative school and a special place. A lot of that teaching and learning was through music. We sang every day at our morning circle, but not only then. Songs were part of our celebrations and rituals in the rhythms of the year. The songs related to social justice were part of a curriculum that included books and stories, experiences in the arts, and ongoing discussions of current events and issues. Songs were also part of our annual original musical plays, often with social justice themes. We wrote plays about residential schools, gender equality, Japanese internment camps, and apartheid, all in the 1980s. Over 28 years, we amassed a huge repertoire of songs from many musical traditions, not all serious, and not all children's songs. New ones were added as curriculum evolved and as families shared songs with us, and all of this was before the internet. In my years singing with Common Thread, I've encountered songs we had sung at the Schoolhouse. One was Harriet Tubman. Along with other songs about civil rights and racial justice, we sang Harriet Tubman each year as we marked Martin Luther King's birthday. When Common Thread sang Nkosi Sikelel' Africa, it was familiar from our studies of South Africa and apartheid. In our marking of Remembrance Day, we would sing Last Night I Had the Strangest Dream, changing the words, as Common Thread did, but this was many years earlier, to add women to the lyrics about who filled the streets. In the early 1980s, long before most of us were thinking about environmental issues or acknowledging our role as settlers on Indigenous land, we sang a song called Where Have the Seals Gone? The lyrics were, where have the seals gone? Where are the whales that once used our waters before there were sails? Where are the people who lived here before? How is it, tell me, they're not here anymore? I've never encountered this song since. It was often requested by students or families, and I think we all knew that it was important. We sang Joe Hill from the songbook my activist aunt gave me as a child, along with the Weaver's songbook. Our kids knew about unions and protests. Several of our plays included scenes with picket lines and singing We Shall Overcome. One of the parents shared a record of Buffy St. Marie's song, Welcome, Welcome, Emigrante. So when a refugee family from Czechoslovakia landed on our doorstep in 1986, we welcomed them at our circle with that song. That family speaks to us almost 35 years later of this memory of our school, our circle, and that song. I can't help but think that the grounding in social justice issues, including the music, has something to do with the adult lives of and values of our grads. Those in close touch include a professor of human rights, another involved with social determinants of public health, 2, working for an organization on sustainable and ethical investing, a lawyer for a labor union, a school social worker in a community serving Indigenous and economically disadvantaged students, the founder of a journal on social policy and food security in Northern Canada, an architect designing small sustainable homes. I often meet grads working on political campaigns for parties committed to social justice policies. There are many former students who work as educators at all levels. Many have spoken to me about the influence of schoolhouse songs and social justice curriculum on their current professional practice. So my message this morning, sing with all the children in your lives and share your activism and values with them through your music, as we say in Common Thread, changing the world one song at a time.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Today's question to you is, how and when has music inspired you towards taking a stand, fighting for social justice, or challenging an outdated status quo? For those who wish to discuss this, you're asked to stay masked if you stay either in the sanctuary or in either of the rooms just off to the side, including the Lifespan Learning Room. If you'd like to mingle and have refreshments and talk about this further, you're welcome to do so in the Cappuccino Room. For those remaining on Zoom, you will be invited to join a breakout room. I'm going to leave you with the words, Chalice, let's do that. Thank you so much, Peter. I'm going to leave you with Peter's words, inviting Lance to come up and extinguish our chalice. Although our chalice followed with these words of the actor Jodie Foster. Upon winning the Academy Award for the film The Accused, she said, "Cruelty might be very human, and it might be very cultural, but it is not acceptable." I sincerely hope that today's message and music have moved you to consider ways in which you can be the change that you wish to see in the world. We're going to close with a shared blessing. Our friends are invited to join us via Zoom, to go to gallery view, to unmute yourself, turn to your neighbor over Zoom and here in the sanctuary and offer the namaste. I salute the God in you. Go in peaceful protest.
Be well, everybody. Be well.
Namaste.
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 Well, go on.
Namaste.
And have a wonderful week.
You too.
Yeah. That was an inspiring service. Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody.